You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Hello and welcome to this edition of Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. I'm your host, Graeme Forsyth. Today's episode is powered by Pure Nata, Fabricland Winkler, and Evolve Green. Today I'll be joined by two players in today's episode of MFHL Season Coverage. One player currently plays in the league, or currently played in the league now that the season has shut down for 2020-2021. They won't be playing any more league games in the MFHL, but the other player is a former MFHL goaltender. She played for the Eastman Selects. It's Raygan Kirk of Robert Morris University. Her team, the Colonials, ended up winning the CHA Championship this past Saturday against the Syracuse Orange by a score of 1-0, and Raygan came up huge in that game. It was her only playoff start in the playoffs, and she ended up saving 36 shots en route to getting a shutout in the championship win. And they're going to be going up against the number one ranked Northeastern Huskies in the upcoming NCAA Division I women's tournament on Monday at 2 p.m. So I had a chance to ask Raygan today about what the road to the championship was like for her team this season, as well as what their team will be doing to prepare going into that big matchup in the first round of the NCAA tournament against Northeastern come Monday. So sit back, enjoy this first part of today's episode of MFHL Season Coverage here on Coffee with Graeme, of course presented by Pure Nata, Fabricland Winkler, and Evolve Green here on ASTV Productions. Raygan joining me on the show tonight. Of course, this interview with her is pre-recorded, so we're doing it in the nighttime. I know that Raygan told me that it was a busy day for her with classes and stuff, but she said that it's like 18 degrees Celsius where she's at, so that's always nice to get the weather like that. But Raygan, thank you so much for joining me on the show tonight. How are you doing today?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Definitely a busy day, but always find time in the evenings to do different things. So.
Yeah, and we're happy to have you on. We're going to talk championship, the championship that you just won with Robert Morris University Colonials. And just, I guess I should ask you this question right off the hop. Just what was it like? You ended up winning your last league championship, I guess, back with Eastman. You got to the championship game last year in the CHA, but you guys lost to Mercyhurst. And to go on the run that you guys did this season to end it off with a championship, the performance you guys had in the final, how did it feel to lift that trophy at the end of the game?
Oh, it was pretty amazing. We've had definitely a different year compared to my freshman year last year. And you're saying all those dates too about with Eastman, it feels so long ago. And even my freshman year feels like so long ago. Last time Robert Morris had won was in 2017. And I think it was 2012 before that. So our senior class, they've gotten second place probably the past 3 years, and I felt it last year and it sucked. So just to lift that trophy and celebrate with my team is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and you guys ended up beating Mercyhurst in a thriller to get to the final the night before, as you guys did play in the championship game on Saturday. But just you guys start off by, I think it was like 40 seconds into the game on the PK, about a minute 13 in, you guys end up picking off a pass in the Mercyhurst zone, and then a rookie of yours scored. I'm pretty sure her name was Ali Markovsky, ends up scoring the goal to get you guys going, the first PK goal of the season. So just to start off a game like that against a rival like Mercyhurst in a game where everything's on the line, just how fired up were you guys after scoring that goal as a team?
Yeah, the energy, even in between periods and on the bench, was contagious. And to go over to overtime too against the same team, Mercyhurst is a really big rival of us. And then last year, losing in overtime was tough. So I think we were all we knew we were going to win. Everybody had the feeling. It was just trying to get that puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, and you didn't play in any of the playoff games leading up to the finals as the other goalies played. So you got a front row seat to seeing your team play in action in those two playoff games, and you guys came in as the third ranked team. Just what was the feeling like other than you playing in the final to actually like just see it all unfold on the bench where you were sitting at?
Mm-hmm. Obviously, it was frustrating coming in third and not getting that bye because you have to play 3 games in a row, which is a lot of hockey. And I think it was pretty iconic, and I'm not sure if any team's ever done this before, but playing all 3 goalies in playoffs and each one getting a win, and only 2 goals against the entire weekend, and all the goalies were a super close group and super proud of them. And the team played great in front of us, which really helped. And being on the bench, it's a different role, and I was just there to support my team and get them going. And then when it was my turn to go in net, I did the best I could.
Awesome. And yeah, how special do you think it is for this team to, not only have one goalie that could come in like yourself and, steal games, but 2 other solid goalies out there as well, like just giving teams different looks and stuff, and just, I guess, going into the unexpected of how to solve 3 different goaltenders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think all 3 of us play very differently. We're different sizes, different styles, but the team has trust in us and we have trust in them, and we do our best just to make the saves, make the easy saves, and make the big saves when we have to. And it was great that each one of us got a game.
And, after that shorthanded goal, Mercyhurst ended up answering back 40 seconds later. I believe it was on the power play. But just what was the feeling like for you guys? You guys were an experienced team this year. You guys ended up going down 2-1. What was it like just after scoring that goal and then just being down trying to answer back?
We've scored, I think, like 4 or 5 goals in a period before. So in between periods, our coach just said, like, you've done it before, you can do it again. And we've played Mercyhurst so many times this year and even last year. So you know how they play. And we just had to really just dig deep in front of the net and battle it out. And we ended up getting that goal and tying it up. And overtime in playoffs is very different than in the season. It's 3-on-3. They changed the rules. So in playoffs, it's 5-on-5, which is just like playing another period. And you just got to keep going and keeping to your systems.
And the score was 2-1 in the second period, and just I think it was they ended up, from what I read, had a chance to score, but DeSmit ended up making a huge save to keep it 2-1. Do you think that was maybe the turning point in the game for her to be able to make that save and keep it a 1-goal game going into the third?
Yeah, I think so. It just gives the team confidence. Like, she's got us back there. Now we have to do the same thing on the other end and try and beat that goalie. We play against a lot of really good goalies and tough defense teams. So just trying to get the puck in the net, whether it's power play or PK even, scoring shorthanded is huge too.
And Michaela Boyle ended up finally coming through for you guys with an equalizer early on in that final frame. Mm-hmm. And just, did you feel at that point the momentum for you guys was growing bigger and bigger, just riding off that momentum from the save of DeSmit in the second period for you guys to tie it back up? Did you feel like that's when the momentum shifted completely into your favor?
I think so, yeah. She really battled in front of the net. I think if you watch the video, she gets 3 whacks at it before it goes in. And yeah, the energy even before that was huge. And then after that, we just knew, like, it's just one more. After each period, it's a clean slate. So then getting the next goal in overtime is huge. And we've been in overtime so many times before. We knew we could do it.
And for you guys being such an experienced team playing in front of the few fans that were there, I think there's just like about over 100, something like that. But as the game grew more intense as the third period went along after you guys tied it, did you feel like the intensity in the building was really ramping up at that point?
I think so, yeah. It obviously sucks, like, especially as Canadians, not having like our parents get to be there and watch us and support us. They've just been watching from home pretty much the entire season. But parents that did come were huge supporters, and even friends and people from school that came that were able to get a ticket was huge, and they were all there with their signs and their noisemakers, and I think that definitely built the atmosphere. It's a really big rink in Erie. It's where the Otters play, I believe, so not a lot of empty seats, but the ones that were full mattered.
Going into that extra frame, that overtime frame, that you're a player that stepped up huge in that playoff tournament, and Burbage ended up stepping up and scoring the goal for you guys to send you to the finals to play Syracuse the night after on Saturday. Just seeing her score that goal, just the relief of knowing that you guys as a team were going to your 5th straight CHA final. Just what was that feeling like for the team in general?
Oh, that was amazing. I think there's a delayed penalty or something because we ended up, the goalie, Ariel wasn't even in the net, and then all of a sudden we're all on the bench getting off. But Maggie's such an amazing player. She's in my class, so just seeing how she's grown from last year to this year, and she'll continue to be a huge asset to our team. And yeah, getting that goal right in the slot was huge, and we were all super excited. 5 years, that's a lot of times to make it to the final, and we knew we just wanted it this year. We didn't want to come in second place again. It really stings, so it was great to get the win.
What was the atmosphere like in the dressing room after? I'm sure you guys were going crazy knowing that you guys were back to the finals, especially for the seniors and just all the returning players from that crushing finals loss last year that you guys suffered an OT to Mercyhurst, to beat them, to get over the hump, to get back to the finals. I'm sure the atmosphere in the dressing room was just electrifying.
Oh yeah, lots of dance parties and big music, hyping each other up, and making the finals anytime is super exciting. Last year was a tough loss, but we knew we could get the win. We were playing Syracuse, which was a little big of a turnover between them and Penn State. Like, Penn State was the team to win it all. They had a really great season, and we knew it was going to be a tough battle. And then against Syracuse, they're a great team as well, but we've had really good success against them. So I think we had a little more confidence going into that game.
Well, we're going to come back after the break and talk about that championship game that you guys had. And then we're going to also talk about just what the preparation is like for you guys going into the NCAA tournament come on Monday at 2 p.m. when you guys face off against the number 1 seeded Northeastern Huskies. I'll be right back with second-year sophomore goaltender of the Robert Morris University Colonials, Raygan Kirk, in just a moment here. But first, a word from one of our sponsors. Back here on MFHL Season Coverage with former Eastman Selects goaltender Raygan Kirk, and Raygan, a sophomore on this year's Robert Morris University Colonials team, who ended up punching their ticket into the NCAA tournament, where they set up a matchup with themselves as the 8th seed going into the tournament against number 1 Northeastern, and that game will be played on Monday at 2 p.m. And it's going to be exciting to follow along with that tournament. But first, before we break down the preview going into that game that the Colonials are going to have, we're going to break down the finals matchup that they had with Syracuse. And, riding high, coming in with so much momentum after that huge 3-2 OT win, going up against the Syracuse team. Just what was the preparation like going into that championship game on Saturday?
Yeah, we played later on in the day, so had a lot of time to prepare, obviously. But we were all just super hyped, and it was all a lot of talk like, we need the ring this year. Like, we've come in second place for so long, and we know how Syracuse plays, so lots of video and lots of meetings, but still just having fun and staying loose because you don't play for so long. You can't really think about it. I don't like thinking about it right when I wake up in the morning. But yeah, we just got to, prepare, lots of stretches and walks, and did our best.
And for you, after the season you went 8-5 8-4-1. You had exceptional numbers in terms of save percentage and goals against average. You didn't end up playing any of the games in the playoffs until the finals. So for you going in after having such I guess, a layoff for yourself since your last game was played in the sometime in the regular season, just was the preparation for yourself going into the finals a bit different than usual?
Yeah, I was battling an injury for a little while, just trying my best to get back and support the team, but still just have to play it like it's any other game and push through it. Lots of practices, just really focusing on tracking and just being a part of the team. And they were there to help me out when I needed it, which was really great to see.
And what was that like for you, just battling an injury in the season, to be able to come out and put up 36 saves and a shutout win to, for you guys to win the championship? Do you think that it made it a bit more special in that way, knowing just all the times you guys were runners up, and for you in your freshman year being a runner up, just battling back to come out and play the type of game you did after suffering an injury in the regular season? Did it make it that much more special?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of girls that were hurting and sore by the end of the season. We played pretty much every weekend after Christmas just to make up for all the missed games on the first half of the semester. I had no idea I really had that many shots. I think the count up top on the Jumbotron was a lot lower, so I was kind of surprised to see that afterwards, but I just knew what I had to do in the net. It's the same game I've always played, and my goalie coach kept saying, it's just 60 minutes, you just got to get through it. So did my best, and the team was there to support me when I needed it, and I tried my best for them.
And you guys ended up having a dominant opening frame in that game against Syracuse. It was said that you guys spent almost the entire first period in their zone. Do you feel like there was not only the preparation, but the momentum you guys had riding in from that big OT win against your rival Mercyhurst was really a big factor into you guys having that explosive start?
Yeah, for sure. I think after playing 2 games, you'd think our team would be tired and dead, but I think we came out with so much energy, more than I've ever seen probably the entire season. And we were able to, keep it in there and build pressure and tire them out really, which helped us going through the second and the third period.
And the second period was a bit different. Syracuse forced your team to rely on your D zone structure in that period, and it was said that you guys were dominant. The team was cutting off shooting lanes, just really keeping everything to the outside, and they really failed to get a clean look on you. But just, do you think the it was the just everything kind of leading up to the final for you guys to, play the way you guys did in the D zone, like you did in those biggest moments? Do you think that, it was just all the good habits coming out in that second period that really, from the season, that translated over into that period for you guys to really have that type of dominance in the D zone in that period?
Yeah, I think we were able to build off through the season, especially playing against Syracuse the weekend before. We knew where our faults were, especially in the D zone, and I think the girls really cleaned it up, and they made some really big blocks for me. And it can go either way because, when you're blocking the shot, usually I can't see the puck, but they were 100% the whole game, which was really great. Builds confidence too through the bench. When you make a big block, the energy rises. So I think, that second period was a huge period for us.
And was the atmosphere electrifying from the fans that were there that really gave you guys that extra momentum in that period as well?
Yeah, I think the moms especially were going pretty crazy up there, so that was really great to see, and it always builds confidence. It's like I said, it's a really big rink, so the noise travels loud, and I could definitely hear them from where I was.
And they didn't really have many clean looks on you, but they came up with you guys came up with a huge stop, for you. On May Batherson on the power play, you slid post to post and you ended up catching a piece of the tip shot, the deflected shot. Do you remember what was going through your head exactly during that moment for you to be able to just really keep your composure and be able to make that save?
Mm-hmm. I think if it's a save, I remember I think I slid out of the net, and I can remember our captain yelling at me like, "Raygan, get back in the net." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm way out in the corner already." But just trying to keep, those are big saves going post to post. A lot of times you just get a piece of it. Sometimes it goes off you and in, sometimes you make the save. So I think that helped bring energy to the bench, and then we were able to kind of regroup in the zone and get down into their end.
And it was also said that the defensive structure proved to be the difference for you guys. You outlasted the Syracuse Orange in the third, and blocking a number of shots and selling out to stop Syracuse from tying things up. So just how huge was that to see, just in the biggest moments in the game like that in the third, for you guys to be able to get so many huge blocks to lead you guys to that one?
Yeah, I think the last 3 minutes were very, we all have our heart rate monitors. I was definitely up there in the red those last 3 minutes. And I just remember from last year, it was the same kind of thing. We were winning 1-0, and I think Mercyhurst scored with like 3.5 minutes left. So in my head, I was like, just don't let that happen again. Like, this is your game. You're so close. And the girls, they had an empty net, Syracuse, so they had the extra player, and our girls really threw their bodies everywhere. I know there was a close call with like maybe a second left in the game. So there's somebody definitely watching over us during those last few seconds, but the girls, really put it all out there on the ice, and it was really great to see.
And you have a 36 save shutout. You joined Jessica Dodds as the only other Robert Morris University goaltender to clinch a championship with a shutout. So a strong championship performance for you. Just what was that like, hearing that you were the first RMU goaltender since Dodds to come out with a shutout win in a championship game?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Again, I had no idea how many shots I really had. I just tried to focus on the next one throughout the game. Try to make it easy saves, get the whistles for the girls because I know they're tired. It was the third game. Kind of crazy, but it was really fun to play. It was some really, really fast hockey, and Syracuse is a really tough team to play against. So.
And just, you said before how the seniors, was a long time coming for them to finally win a championship. It was a long time coming for the juniors as well. And the sophomores, like yourself and the others, really went through a heartbreak in the season before. So how huge was it, first off, for just to see the smiles and the excitement on the seniors and juniors' faces, knowing that they finally got it done with you guys?
Yeah, that was amazing feeling, just seeing how happy they were. Yeah, it's been a tough go the past 3 years, and even their senior year is so different. Like our senior night, a lot of the Canadian, our players, their parents weren't allowed to come. They watched from home on the computer, and even then we're not allowed any fans. So the American parents really couldn't be there. So it wasn't the same. So just being able to get the win for them meant a lot.
And what was it like for yourself, just going through last year, being the goaltender in net, losing in OT, to come back and play one playoff game, which was back in that championship, to have a bounce back performance like you did, having the amount of shots that you did, having the shutout for you? Just how special of a championship win was this for you?
It was super special, especially with the group that we have. It meant a lot, and just how excited we were after the game. And even now, just to make the top 8 is huge for our program. And we're not done yet, though. We got a big game on Monday, and so I'm really excited.
After having such a great season in your freshman year, you end up having a .945 save percentage, a .168 goals against average. From what I saw, I think it was back in December, you won 4 CHA Goaltender of the Week awards up until that point, just especially with an 8-4-1 record, just the dominance you displayed out there this year. What do you think went into you just having the type of season you did out there this year?
Yeah, I think I just grew off of last season and had more confidence. We're playing the same team, so it was a little less unknown. The girls might change, they cycle through, but the systems and how the team plays themselves pretty much stays the same. So I think I had a lot of confidence from last year, getting this experience that I had, and then just playing, especially for the year with the pandemic. Any game could be your last game. We saw it happen to other teams and other leagues even. So just being able to play every game, like, it could be my last, I think really helped me just put it all out there every game that I got the chance to play.
And for you, I remember you were interviewed by Theo Tekulak. I believe it was in the summer of 2020. And you said that you're talking about your first game action in the CHA in college hockey. And you said that the pace was definitely something that you had to get used to the way the shooters shoot, stuff like that. So at this point in your career, how comfortable are you with the pace of the game now and just the way shooters shoot?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely adjusted to it. Midget hockey is very different than college hockey, but I had a really great experience in midget and a lot of help that helped me get to where I am today. And I'm really loving the hockey down here for sure.
And obviously, college hockey compared to AAA hockey is a lot different. But if you could take anything away from your experiences of playing in the MFHL, what would you say would be probably the biggest things that you've taken away from that league that has helped you in your university career up until this point?
I think just playing every game, like you never, especially when you're getting closer to being recruited, playing like you never know who's going to be watching in the stands. If you do want to go far, obviously, just putting it all out there. And, the practice and training schedule is very different at the college level. You don't really get to be on the ice every single day in AAA. So just putting the time and effort outside of the rink so that when you're on the ice, you're playing at your best, and it'll help to get you wherever you want to be.
And for you guys this year, you told Theo that, like for Robert Morris this year, you felt like it was a competitive team, a team that felt like you guys should have won the championship the year before. You guys were obviously a very experienced team this year. You had a great production from the freshman in Ellie Markovsky. Just what do you think was the thing that set this team apart from the team last year, in your opinion, that allowed you guys to win the championship?
Yeah, we had a really strong group last year too. I had a really great freshman experience. We did only lose 3 seniors last year, so you kind of almost have the same team coming into this year. You just have a couple new players, and Ellie, like you said, is a really great freshman. All our freshmen are super strong, and they really put themselves out there, getting ice time in the games as well. And I know they'll continue to grow just like my class did from last year to this year. It's really great to see. And we're losing a lot of really great players this year, but I know with the group that we have and the group that's coming in will continue to excel.
Well, first, you guys got to focus on your big matchup against Northeastern, the #1 ranked team throughout the whole NCAA tournament. You guys coming in as the 8th seed, and a team like Northeastern, they finished 21-1 this season overall. They're riding a 16-game win streak coming in. So, have you guys had a chance to watch film on this team and just really prepare and get to know what their strengths are and what weaknesses you can expose as well?
Yeah, we'll do video and all that sort of stuff closer to Monday. It's still a little early. We're just trying to kind of work on the things that we need to work on first. We know that they're a very strong team, and I think the type of brand of hockey that we play versus them is very different. They come from a very fast and skilled league, but we're very tough and really work together as a unit. So I think it'll be some fun and fast hockey on Monday, and I'm very excited. So we just got to keep working on how we play.
Do you think the style that you guys play, of course, like tough and you guys work together, stuff like that, it seems like a lot of depth on this team, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, you guys got great goaltenders. Going up against this Northeastern team, like you said, plays a faster brand of hockey. Do you think that the way you guys played together and tough stuff like that is going to be a key difference to you guys maybe pulling off that upset come Monday?
I think so. We just get a little tougher in the offensive zone and bury those big rebounds that, it gets so frustrating after a point. When you just want to get them in the back of the net. And I think if we just really bear down and play together as a team, the puck moves faster than we do. And if we're super flying out there like we were this past Saturday, I think we'll definitely give them a run for their money, and it'll be some really great hockey.
What have you been doing to prepare personally for yourself individually throughout the days following the championship game? Obviously, you still got a bit of time before the Monday game against Northeastern hits, but what have you been doing to stay in that mindset of staying ready for that game on Monday?
Yeah, I think just taking care of my body. I think the entire team's doing that right now, especially after, they've just played 3 straight games. And then also catching up on school too is a huge thing. Lower the stress levels a little bit because we've missed so much school, and we'll miss even more next week. But I try not to really get in my head too much before the game, especially because we don't play till Monday. But yeah, just doing my best to recover and keep it going.
And where is the game going to be played on Monday?
They'll be back in Erie, actually, which helps us a lot because we were just there. So all the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final game is all in Erie next week.
Right on, and I'm assuming that you guys are going to get some of your fans coming out to the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, awesome. So how loud do you expect the fans that you guys got coming out to be when you guys hit that ice on Monday against Northeastern?
Pretty loud. I'm not sure if we get to add an extra couple people to our, a comp roster or whatever. But we'll see. I know a lot of the parents will be there again for sure, and I'm sure we'll have some friends and siblings come out as well.
And I guess final question before I let you go here, what do you think is going to be the biggest factor for you guys to try to go on a run in this NCAA tournament to potentially winning the national championship?
I think just focusing on, playing together as a team. We have a really great chemistry on the team, and just, we're like, a big group of sisters, right? I think a lot of teams can say that. But if we just look past the type of team we're playing and just focus, it's just another game, and play like we know we can and not overthink it and stick to our systems and our good habits, I think we'll have a good chance.
Why go solar? Solar is better than ever. Our revolutionary design and inverter equipment with the latest in solar panel technology for the ultimate in-home and business security. That's right, I said security. Grid security and security of your home are linked. Fortify your future today with a battery backup system. No maintenance, quiet running. Did you know in Manitoba, grid-connected, off-grid, and battery backup systems are 100% right off in the year you purchase for any company or farm? Do you want to back up your internet, keep your tills running, and the lights on? We can install a system that is right for you with battery backup fully capable of taking on all those essential loads and keeping you running. When you call our experts at Evolve Green, ask about getting your free energy audit today. Call or email today to find out what system works best for you. 1-866-5EVOLVE or support@evolvegreen.ca. Also, be sure to check out our website at www.evolvegreen.ca.
Welcome back to this edition of Coffee with Graeme's MFHL Season Coverage. I've decided to reschedule the Jolene LeClaire interview and make this episode a two-part special. So the interview with Jolene LeClaire will air on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. Jolene will join me to talk softball and hockey, and I'm excited to ask her the question, why softball over hockey? Well, find out on Sunday morning on ASTV Productions. You can watch the episode on ASTV Productions on Facebook and also on our YouTube channel at Amateur Sports TV, or you can just simply visit our website at astvproductions.com. And that's going to do it for today's edition of Coffee with Graeme's MFHL Season Coverage. Special thanks to Robert Morris University sophomore goaltender and former Eastman Selects goaltender Raygan Kirk for joining me on today's show as my guest. Special thanks to you, the viewer, for tuning in today, and also special thanks to our sponsors for sponsoring today's show, Imperial Nata, Fabricland Winkler, and Evolve Green. I'll be back on the network for Coffee with Graeme on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Time on ASTV Productions on Facebook and Amateur Sports TV on YouTube. But before I'm done this week on the network, I'll be coming back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time to bring you guys the return of the Prospect Show with number 14 of the Saskatoon Contacts rookie forward, underage forward, Berkeley Cadden, who's also a highly touted prospect going into the 2021 WHL Bantam Draft come December. But until next time, folks, I've been your host, Graeme Forsyth of Coffee with Graeme's MFHL